Hello students, welcome to your online sessions. Now as you all know, we are studying the chapter number 1, that is real number. Already 3 video lectures of this chapter has already been uploaded. This is the 4th video lecture where what we are going to do, we have covered exercise number 1.1, we have covered exercise number 1.2 in detail in the previous 3 videos. Now in this 4th video, we are going to prove irrationality, how a particular number can proved as irrational number, that we are going to learn, right? Before going to exercise number 1.3, we need to learn some theorem. Now what are those theorem? So very first theorem is what you have to remember: if a prime number p divides square of any number. Try to understand. If a prime number p divides any square of the number, then that prime number p also divides a. That is the square root of that number. Let us take the example. Okay, 3 is a prime number. Suppose it is dividing square of any number. Let me take 6 square, right? 6 square is what? 36. Is 36 is divisible by this prime number? Yes, we'll get 12. Are you getting my point? So if a prime number p divides square of any number, then that prime number p should also divide this a particular number, the square root of that number. What is square root of 6 square? Square root of 6 square is going to be 6. So that 6 is also divisible by 3. That you will get 2. So if any prime number p is dividing a square means square of any number. So if this statement, if it is true, this has to be true. The first statement has to be true. If this statement is coming out to be true, then this statement will also be true. That is, if p is dividing your a square, then that p will divide a also. That is one of the theorem you have to understand. One more thing. There is something called as co-prime numbers. Co-prime numbers. Now what are co-prime numbers? All of you know that what is the meaning of prime number. Prime number are those number which are having factor only 1 and the number itself, right? What are co-prime number? So in rational number, you all know that rational number, it can be written as the format of p by q, where q should not be equal to 0. This is the formula of rational number. So in the rational number, that p and q are always co-prime. P and q are always co-prime. Co-prime means what? P and q must not have any common factor other than 1. Like 2 by 3. See, 2 by 3. It is a rational number. But 2 and 3, is it having any other common factor? No, they are only having factor as 2 into 1 and 3 into 1. So they are called as, the 2 and 3 are called as common co-prime number, because these two numbers are not having any common factor other than 1. Can you call 3 and 6 as a co-prime number? Can you call 3 or 6 as a co-prime number? No, you cannot, because this 6 is having common factor as 3, means 3, and this can be written as 3 2s are. So both are having common factor as 3, which is not 1. Are you getting my point? So you can say that both should have the common factor as 1 only. Like 3 is there and 3 and 6 is there. So 6 can be written as 3 2s are. So 3 is again a common factor. But it should not happen. Numerator and denominator both will have common factor as 1. Then and only then that 2 number can be called as a co-prime number. These two things you have to remember. These two theorems you have to understand in order to prove any number as an irrational number, right? Okay, so let us start by considering all this theory. let us start the exercise number 1.3. Okay students, so let us start exercise number 1.3. The very first question of exercise 1.3 is prove that root 5 is irrational number. Now what is the meaning of irrational number? The number which will have a non-terminating and non-recurring expansion. Like for example 1.0320156252 and so on. And let me take 300. This kind of number 1.032015625300. It is a non-terminating as well as nothing is repeated. Nothing is repeated, so it is called as non-recurring number. So all the non-terminating and non-recurring number are called as irrational number. But again, for that you have to remember that any square root is there, and within the square root suppose any prime numbers are there like root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, root 13, root 17 and so on. If any prime number is there within the root, that is going to be irrational number for sure. But here what you have to do, you have to prove it. You have to prove this statement. Like here, prove that root 5 is irrational. So root is there and prime number is there. So but obviously it is going to be irrational. But by following some of the procedures, we have to prove it as an irrational number. Now one more thing, whatever I am going to write it, the same thing, the same concept is going to apply for any single number which is having the square root, and in that square root if any prime number is there, you have to follow one single method. Like here it can come, prove that root 2 is irrational, prove that root 3 is irrational, prove that root 7 is irrational, prove that root 11 is irrational. If any single root is there and within the root if prime number is there, so we have to prove it as a irrational, but you have to follow one and only one method, right? So let us try to prove it. Prove that root 5 is irrational. In order to prove that root 5 is irrational, what you have to do? You have to consider a false assumption. You have to take a false assumption, and by following certain procedure, you will eventually know that whatever you have assumed, that assumption is wrong. It will come wrong. Whatever we will assume, it will come wrong. So like here, prove that root 5 is irrational. So I will assume, let us take root 5 as a rational number, right? I will assume. So considering root 5 as a rational number, I will follow some procedure. But at the last, some result I will get, and by observing that result closely, we will get to know that whatever we have assumed, that cannot be true. Are you getting my point? So let us start. First of all, what is the step you have to do in the solution? Let us assume root 5 is a rational number. Root 5 is a rational number. So if you have considered root 5 as a rational number, can I write it as root 5 is equal to P by Q, and Q should not be equal to 0. Also P and Q are co-prime numbers. If rational number is there, just now I have explained, if rational number is there, if you have considered this as a rational number, if you have assumed this as a rational number, it can be written in the format of P by Q. Q cannot be equal to 0. At the same time, P and Q should be a co-prime number. This is the bracket, and that all the thing that you have written here, you have assumed. Okay? Now, any time if I am getting any wrong thing out of which I have supposed, this assumption will stand false. Okay? Now, what is the step you have to follow? So, first step, root 5 is equal to P by Q. So, you have to write like this, root 5 is equal to P by Q. Shift this Q in the multiplication with root 5. So, can I write P is equal to root 5Q? This Q will go here, root 5Q. right? That is your equation number 1. That is your main equation. You have to give it as equation number 1. Now, in order to remove this root, what you will do? You will do the squaring on both the sides. So your second thing is you have to remove this root. And in order to remove this root, what you have to do? You have to do the squaring on both the sides. So, squaring on both the sides. What you will get? Here you will get p square is equal to root 5q square. Sorry, my mistake. 5q square. Okay. P square is equal to 5q square. Okay. Now my next question is, if you look at this answer, look at this carefully, this thing. P square is equal to root 5q square. So can I say that p square is equal to multiple of 5? See, q square, if you assume q square has any value, but q square into 5. So that p square, can I say that p square is a multiple of 5? Like p square can be 5, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 50. Meaning to say that p square is going to be a multiple of 5 because it is having p square, the answer of p square is equal to 5 into something. So p square is a multiple of 5. If p square is a multiple of 5, I am writing here, if p square is a multiple of 5, so can you divide this p square by 5? Yes or no? Yes. If p square is a multiple of 5, so p square is always going to be divisible by 5. If p square is a multiple of 5, like see, p square is say 5 into 2 or p square is 5 into 3. So this all value is always divisible by 5. Always divisible by 5. So next statement you have to write here, 5 divides p square. You have to focus this question. This is the answer of this p square. So you have to focus this only. So 5 divides p square. So 5 is a prime number. It is dividing the square of any number. So just now what theorem I have learned, if 5 divides p square, so according to the theorem 5 divides p also. 5 divides p also. See, this is the common procedure you have to follow in everything. So if 5 divides p also, if 5 is dividing p, so the counter attack you have to do. If 5 divides p, so p will also be a multiple of 5. If 5 is dividing p, you have to pause the whatever statement I am telling. Pause it and think it. If 5 divides p, so but obviously p is going to be multiple of 5. Then and only then the pi can divide p. So p is a multiple of 5. So therefore, p is always going to be 5 into any number. 5 into any number. That number I am taking it as m. So p is equal to 5m. P is equal to 5m. That is the equation number 2 you have to get. P is equal to 5m. Why p is equal to 5m? Because 5 divides p. So p should be multiple of 5. Then and only then 5 is divided. Then and only then this value is divided by 5. Okay. Question 2 you got. So you have talked about this p. Now next part you have to talk about q. So for this q, you have to put this value in the equation number 1. So next step, put p is equal to 5m in equation number 1. What is your equation number 1? So p is equal to root 5q. In place of p you will put 5m. 5m is equal to root 5q. Again I have to remove this root. In order to remove this root, do the squaring on both the sides. So 25m square is equal to 5q square. 25m square is equal to 5q square. That 5 5's are right. So q square, this q square is equal to 5m square. Q square is equal to 5m square. Now the same process. P square was equal to 5q square. So here q square was equal to 5m square. Now you have to focus on this q square. Now q square is a multiple of 5. So can I write here 5 divides q square? Because it is a multiple of 5. Q square is a multiple of 5. So 5 must divide q square. And if 5 divides q square, according to the theorem, 5 divides q also. 5 divides Q also. And if 5 dividing Q also, but obviously your Q will be multiple of 5. 5 into any constant, I am taking K. Here I took M. Here you can take anything. The meaning is your Q is going to be multiple of 5. 5 into anything. So that is your equation number 3. Now you have to focus on equation number 2 and equation number 3. What you have to tell? From equation number 2 and equation number 3. Now what you are observing from equation number 2 and 3? You have assumed P and Q as a co-prime number. In the very beginning, the bracket, what you have assumed? You have assumed P and Q as a co-prime number. Means they should not have any other common factor other than 1. Any common factor other than 1. So if you look at your equation number 2 and equation number 3, P is equal to 5M, Q is equal to 5K. In both the equation, 5 is common. In P also, and Q also. So here, we can say that P and Q are having 5 as a common factor. 5 as a common factor. Therefore, P and Q cannot be co-prime numbers. P and Q cannot be co-prime numbers. And if P and Q cannot be co-prime numbers, so ultimately whatever you have assumed, that assumption is wrong, because what you have assumed, P and Q are co-prime and hence they are rational. But here we are getting the result that P and Q are not co-prime number. Therefore, our assumption that root 5 is a rational number stands false. Right? Because you are not getting co-prime number, so your assumption is false. And what you have assumed? Rational. That is coming out to be false. So, but obvious. Therefore, root 5 is an irrational number. Root 5 is irrational number. And here, your sums complete. Make sure you write each and every quantity. Now, root 5 is there. Suppose root 2 is there. So here, P is equal to root 2Q. P square is equal to 2Q square. 2 divides P square, so 2 divides P also. P is equal to 2M. Then 2M should be kept here. Here Q square is equal to 2M square will come. 2 divides Q square, 2 divides Q also. Q is equal to 2K. Again, they will have a common factor as 2, which will not make P and Q as a co-prime number. And if they are not co-prime number, they cannot be a rational number. So, but obviously they are going to be irrational number. Right? This step you have to follow in every single root, like root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11. Right? If any other number is joined here, either in the plus or minus, we will have a separate thing. Well, we will have separate thing that I am going to teach you. So note it down, pause the video and note it down. We will move towards the next question, that is question number 2 of your exercise number 1.3. So I hope you have understood question number 1. Now in question number 2, the root is going to be there, but the root will not be alone. It will be accompanied with some other number as well. Like here, if you see 3 plus 2 root 5, as prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational number. So your root is there, but that root is not alone. It is accompanied with 2 and 3. If you look at question number 3 also, 1 by root 2 is there and 7 root 5 is there. Right? Both are accompanied with other number as well. So in this kind of question, you already know that. You have to tell yourself, you already know that root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, these all are irrational number. For that kind of number, now you don't have to prove. You already know it. So how you have to prove it? 3 plus 2 root 5 as an irrational number. First of all, you have to assume it as a rational number. So assume 3 plus 2 root 5 is a rational number. Rational number means what? It can be written as a format of P by Q. Q should not be equal to 0. And P and Q both are co-prime number. Both are co-prime number. Where P and Q are any integer. Now, what you have to do after this step? Make sure you have to make sure that your root is there on the one side of the equals to. So you have to make root 5 here, rest all other value you have to shift it on the other side. Like see, I have shifted 3 there, so it will become p minus q minus 3. Take the LCM here, q, that will be multiplied with q. So p minus 3q upon q. Again I want here root 5 only. So I have to send this to here. So root 5 is equal to p minus 3q upon 2q. So in such kind of question, where root prime number is accompanied with different number as well, what you have to do, you have to make sure that your root is on one side and rest all other value on the other side of the equals to. Now, p and q are integers. Integers minus integer is going to be integer. Q is also integer. So integer divided by integer is going to be integer. So this RHS is integer. And if RHS is integer, it has to be a rational number. Okay, this is a rational number. But root 5 is equal to with this number. Root 5 is equal to with this number. So if this is rational, so root 5 must be a rational number. Then and only then both are equal. But you know that, now you know that root 5 is not a rational number. It is an irrational number. So here, p minus 3q upon 2q is a rational number. So root 5 must be a rational number because both are equal. But you know that root 5 is an irrational number. And if it is irrational number, this cannot be rational. So our assumption stands false, and 3 plus 2 root 5 is going to be a irrational number. Right? Let us move towards here. 1 by root 2 is there. So the rule of third is what? Your root should not be there in the denominator. So do the rationalization. Root 2 and root 2. So root 2 into root 2 is going to be 2. Root 2 upon 2. Root 2 upon 2. Again, take it as assume it as a rational number. So it can be written as root 2 by 2 is equal to p by q. Q should not be equal to 0. P and q are co-prime and p and q are integers. Again, the root is not alone. So whenever it is not alone, always make sure that your root value is one side of the equals to and other value, all other value on the other side of the equals to. So root 2 will be here, send this 2 here. So 2p by q. So p is integer, integer into 2 integer, integer divided by q integer. So this RHS value integer. If RHS value is an integer, so it is a rational number. So 2p by q is a irrational number. Now if root 2 is equal to with this number, so root 2 should also be root 2 is also, it should be also a rational number. But root 2 is a prime number which is there in the root. We have already proved in the previous case, that root 2 must be a rational number, but root 2 is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. So if it is irrational number, this also irrational number, so entire value will be an irrational number. Our assumption false, and 1 by root 2 is called as an irrational number. In the same manner, you have to do 7 root 5. Right? The last question is also similar to this question. Right? So here we have covered the entire exercise number 1.3. Please solve it in your notebook. If any doubt is there, feel free to ask any doubt at any moment. In the next video, we will be solving the last exercise of this chapter, that is exercise number 1.4. Till then, bye-bye and take care of yourself.